Bolet's Master Class.
It'll help you immeasurably if you don't whack those notes.
Right.
One of George Bolet's characteristics as a teacher is his insistence that the student must develop his own interpretation of a work. In order to do this, however, the student must, of course, know what he's trying to convey and why.
Good. Now look, tell me at a place like this, for example, just what do you envision that you really want to savor, that you want to convey to the listener the beauties of this particular passage? Wherein lie the...
Well, I think what I was trying to convey here is that I play this, as you said, nebulously, and here is a kind of oasis, it sort of suddenly springs out.
Yeah,
and then
all
it goes back again into the come prima.
All right, good. Basically, that's a very good idea. Very good idea. But wherein consists the beauty of this? What gives this thing a particular importance?
How do you call it? It's kind of poggiatura into the...
Yeah, but why should that 16th note be important at all?
Because it's so dissonant to it.
Ah, exactly. All right. Now that you know what's involved, let's see how you play it. Yeah, all right. But you see, now you're playing, you're giving everything so much importance that you aren't really telling me what you consider particularly important. Huh? Look, all performance is communication. I define music as the art of communication between two people by means of musical sounds. So whatever you're doing at the keyboard, you're telling them in musical terms, in musical sounds, exactly what you're thinking or what the composer thought. Now you have to find out what the beautiful thoughts of the composer were, and then you have to play them in such a way that you are communicating to the listener what you're doing. But you have to play it in such a way that it's like actually telling the listener, listen to this, isn't this beautiful? Listen to this melodic, the shape of this melodic line. the transition of this harmonic progression. Listen to the Rachmaninoff recording, and I'm sure that you will find that he does some things that are just absolutely so breathtaking. Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bravo.
Hello, and welcome to the second of this series of 3 masterclasses given by the Cuban pianist Jorge Bolet. All the classes are concerned with a single work, the massive Third Piano Concerto by Sergei Rachmaninoff. It's perhaps one of the most taxing works in the entire piano repertoire, as much from the point of view of the pianist's stamina as his technique and musicianship. In the first masterclass, Jorge Bolet worked with the American pianist Ira Levin and a young Brazilian pianist, Jose Feghali, on the first movement. Today, 2 different pianists present him with their interpretation of the second movement, the lyrical intermezzo. The British pianist Philip Smith received the majority of his piano tuition at the Royal Academy of Music in London. He entered at the age of 11, became a full-time student 5 years later, winning several prizes and fellowships, and in addition to radio and television broadcasts, he's given recitals and concert performances at several international festivals. Philip became known to television audiences in Britain when he was a semi-finalist and prize winner in the 1978 Leeds International Piano Competition. Here he is, playing the first section of the slow movement.
I wish we had the time to be able to play the whole thing all the way through, but unfortunately we have to take things by sections. The first impression that I get from hearing you play this is that you're taking a great deal of time for certain things which I don't think are really quite that important. As I mentioned at the first session, we're communicating, we're talking to the listener, and we're trying to show the listener and have the listener be aware of all those very beautiful things which exist in the music. If we take time for anything, be careful that the pace of the music does not disintegrate to the extent that, everything kind of seems to stop. We must always have, even when we make the biggest allargando, we must always have that sense of forward movement. The great Tabuteau, Marcel Tabuteau, who was solo oboe of the Philadelphia Orchestra for a great many years, I was very privileged in working under him for 4 years. And one of his favorite expressions is, music must travel. Always keep that in mind.
Jorge Bolet's master class will continue in a moment.